So today I'm taking a look at Darkwing Duck. Owner of this game says that he gets music but no video on the screen. So let's turn it on and see what happens. Okay, it's a little bit odd, never seen this before. The game actually is running, but there's nothing being displayed on the screen. So it could be a few different things. So let's take it apart, see if we can find out what's going on with it. And here's the board. Looks pretty good so far. I don't see anything that immediately jumps out at me. So it seems like the program side's probably fine, because the game actually is running. So I'm going to go ahead and focus on the character ROM. So I think I'm going to play around with the ROM on an emulator and see if I can reproduce what happened on the console here.
Okay, so I got the Darkwing Duck ROM here, and I went ahead and did a few things. So I took the character ROM and I filled one part with all zeros and another part with all Fs. So I'm going to load them up in an emulator and see if I get similar results to what I got on the cartridge. Okay, so it looks like this is all just colored blocks. Let's see what happens if we use the one with all zeros. Okay, it looks like we have a winner. If the char ROM is filled with all zeros, we get the same results as we got on the cartridge. So, let me go ahead and take another look at the character side and see what's going on there.
Alright, so we were able to reproduce the error by filling the character ROM with all zeros on the emulator. So that tells me that there's probably a short to ground on here. So just so I have a working game to check against, I got my Double Dragon here, which is also SL ROM. So I'm going to open it up and see if I find any shorts, and also measure the difference in resistance on this cart versus this one. And it's saying about 500 ohms. Let's see what Double Dragon reads. Also about 500. Alright, so that might be caused by a capacitor or something. So one thing we can do is we can let it run in Nintendo and then see if the ROM gets hot. And I'm going to let that run for a few minutes and we'll check back. And I'm back. And after about 1 minute or so, the character ROM got pretty hot, a lot hotter than the program ROM. And then just to double check, I ran Double Dragon for a few minutes and it didn't get warm at all with that board. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pull the character, see if I can read it out, and probably end up replacing it. Alright. And one more thing I want to do. I want to go ahead and test the game without the character ROM in and see if I get the same result as I did in my last video when I used the Muramasa board with just the program ROM. Okay, I say that pretty much sells it that it's definitely the bad character ROM, but like I said, we're still going to go ahead and try and dump it and see what happens there.
Okay, so got everything loaded up here, got the chip inserted into my adapter. Need to go ahead and select the 1 megabit ROM since that's what Darkwing Duck uses. And let's take a look at it in a hex editor. Yep, getting all zeros. So, let's go ahead and program a new ROM and go ahead and throw that in the board.
Okay, got the placement ROM program, bent up the proper pins. Time to install it. Then wire up the mismatch pins. Right, got all wired up. Just need to bridge the program pin right there. Then we can test it out. Right, let's go ahead and give it a shot. Not quite. Might have messed up one of the wires. So, go back over it. And let's see what happened. Okay, something's definitely not right there. So I'm going to pull my wires off and redo them. Okay, pull out the wires and retin the leads. So let's give this another shot. Alright, now the game's working. So before I do send it back to the owner, I'm going to need to clean the cart connector. You can see if I tap it, the screen gets all distorted. So I'm going to clean that, get it back in the shell, and get it shipped off to the owner. Alright, so a little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip. And we are good. I can wiggle the board, tap on it, and the screen is fine. So there you go, programming a new character ROM to fix a busted board.